Hey everyone, Jen Thompson on behalf of Lighthouse for Life. I want to welcome you to our question and answer time with Kristen Jenson. Thanks for being with us, Kristen.
Hi, Jen. Great to be here with you.
I love having talks with you. You have such practical wisdom and always a good story and application. Just really thank you for joining us. So we are getting right to the point, and we're having these really short question and answer times based on the feedback we got from our original interview with you. So today's question, it's a two-parter. What are some of the most common ways that porn is shared with children? And is it shared in ways that are obvious or more hidden, subliminal images, messages? How's it getting out there?
Okay. I would almost say the number one way that kids are getting access to porn or getting exposed to porn is often through social media and social media apps. There's just so much hidden porn out there. And it's important for parents to realize that in many of the apps, they may have everything set up, but in many of the apps or games, kids can actually go through and get onto the internet, even though you may have taken the browser off the iPad. If they have an app, many of these apps have back doors to the internet. So they share through there in games. And then just kids at school, will share, back in the day, they would slip a piece of paper with a website, Of course, we always think of back in the day, it was all magazines. That was pretty much it. And yes, but kids are still getting exposed to super, nudity and hypersexualized material, inappropriate for children via magazines. And so there's all kinds of ways. And kids, we found that most kids actually find porn through other kids or through just curiosity, on the internet. Or they put in some innocent search term and they come up with stuff, or they see something on an image search, like Google image search, and things come up. If you do a Google image search and you keep scrolling, you're going to come, there's very few searches that you're not going to come up with, girl with lollipop.
Yeah.
You don't have to go far.
I used to
before
teach.
you get,
The librarian in our school said that someone typed in boy story, looking for a story about a boy as a demonstration of how to write his own. And somebody had slipped in something under that topic.
Right. And even in school databases, there are ways kids can get to pornographic material. There are pornographic, very sexually explicit, and I would say inappropriate podcasts that your kid could listen to. Girls can get into fan fiction. They often do. There's a type of anime called hentai, which is basically anime porn.
Wow.
So, there's just so many ways. And that's why it's important to help your child develop an internal filter that will go with them wherever they go, a disposition that wants to reject pornography, that understands that it's not in their best interest. And you have to start building that in them, in their hearts and their minds as they grow up. So that's a really good question. And you said you had a follow-up question.
Yeah, I do, because I anticipated some sort of everywhere, answer. I didn't know for sure what you would say, but I anticipated that there wouldn't be like, well, avoid this app and avoid this book and you're good, right? Porn comes at us through all the ways.
Yeah.
So how do I leave the answer to the question that you just gave me, if I'm a parent or a teacher or anyone in the community, with a sense of not just putting my head down, help me with a practical way to respond, since it's going to come, who knows how.
Right. So first of all, we actually have on my website, protectyoungminds.org, a free guide called the SMART plan for parents. And I like acronyms. So S stands, so this is basically your go-to guide, your plan, your game plan for when your child either tells you that they've seen porn, or you find it on one of their devices, or you hear about it in some way. So you have to stay calm, deal with your own emotions first, and then make a plan. And we have lots of different questions for you to think about asking, and also you got to take a step back.
Yeah.
Your child seeing pornography is not the worst thing that may ever happen to them. Okay. Mm-hmm. The worst thing that could happen to them, it's not what our kids are exposed to. It's what that material, if that material is allowed to fester and then to change their behavior so that they then become maybe a compulsive user of pornography. They start to objectify people. So it's not the end of the world if your kid sees pornography, and probably the least helpful thing you could do would be to react with shock and shame,
Yeah.
Even if you've warned them before, even if you've had the talk, we all make mistakes. Oh my gosh. Like, does a day go by that Kristen doesn't make a mistake? No, pretty much.
Oh, no. I can speak to that for me. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in what you said. And I saw a quote recently that said, it's not the thing that's really the issue. It's the response to.
Right. So teach your child, ask, how did you feel? How did that make you feel? And then explain in kind, gentle, loving terms that, you want the best life for them in the future. And and you've learned that pornography is not going to lead them to their best life. Even though it might seem so interesting, right? Or they might be so curious about it now. So I hope that's helped.
Very helpful.
We can't put our heads in the sand. This isn't as, we have on protectyoungminds.org, we have guides for almost everything.
Yeah,
we have a lot of guides. And so you can find the right answer there that will give you the help that you're looking for.
Well, we'll be sure to share that when we continue. We actually continually share nuggets from your website, and that's how I met you to begin with, is for myself. And so thank you for helping us to understand not to be overwhelmed by the possibility of it. And I love the theme in all of the questions that we've had with you. I love the theme that you put forward of equipping your child to protect themselves by continual conversation and relationship and open. And I just think that is really wise. And so just thanks for bringing your best game every time to our chats. Have a great
You're welcome. Thanks, Jen.
Bye-bye.